Good morning. It's the next morning here on Drawing with Lord Karnage, and I'm working on page 18 of Ethel the Cyborg Ninja, doing some inks on what I would consider some of the less challenging panels throughout the book. In fact, I'm just going to go through the whole book and do a lot of the shots of Ethel and Edit-Station 1. And I'm going to leave things like the hands and the tricky bits for later, because I'm probably going to use a hand model for some of these. Meaning I'm going to beg my wife to hold a sword and draw her hand, and hopefully she doesn't stab me. And I'm actually still working out this character's design, so I'll deal with him later. This is going to be a pretty complex shot. But I'm going to draw like Edit-Station 1 here. He's not too hard. I'll draw this panel right now, ink this panel, and I'm going to ink this shot. And the reason I'm doing it like this is because I'm on page 18 of about 120, 115, 120. At some point here in the near future, I want to feel like I've accomplished something. I want to look at the book and actually see some inks on the pages. I haven't really made up my mind on the backgrounds here, but I can do the backgrounds last. Not a big deal. Especially since they're in Vectronics 9000. I'm going to give it kind of a neat, spacey, computerized look. And I really just haven't finalized that yet. So until I do, I'm going to zip through here and do a bunch of these inks on the characters, like Ethel. So let's fill in her arm there, spacesuit in her hair. And I'm going to have some of her hair flying out of her ponytail. She's been fighting this mysterious stranger for the last couple shots, which you haven't seen yet, because I haven't drawn them yet. And she has a potty mouth, apparently, but She just saw her dad, or what she thinks is her dad, in Vectronics 9000 with giant wings. So apparently it's kind of freaking her out. The way that I work is the book's not done until it's done. So it doesn't really matter what order I'm going in, since I'm the one that actually makes all the printing decisions in the end anyway. And I'm not going to let it go until it looks right. So at this point, it's a whole lot of busy work. That's definitely an oh shit look, if I've ever drawn one. And this one's a little cartoonier, but that's all right. It fits the story perfectly. And I'm not aiming for any particular style. I'm not saying I want it to look like manga. I'm not saying I want it to look like a 1970s Star Wars comic or anything, but I like both of those things, so they are certainly influences. I love the detailed pen and ink work on a good manga, but I also like the style of the late 70s, early 80s space adventure stuff, like Star Wars comics and Transformers and stuff. They weren't as complicated. I mean, the art wasn't as technically complicated, but it told the story well, and they were fun because it's like you knew the characters, you know Han Solo, you know 3PO and Luke Skywalker, you know the Transformers and Optimus Prime, and you know, when I read those, I'm not picking the art apart saying, oh, look at this amazing shot composition. It's more like, oh, look at Megatron stomping on someone. That's awesome. So I draw inspiration from that kind of art as well. I like to combine the two. I like to have some panels that are impressive, where you can sit back and really admire it and pick out all these details I hide in it, and other panels that just move the story along. The layer that I actually drew for this, I called Edit Pass 1, because this is what I'm going to call the first inking, the first pass of the ink. So I'm going to put something down. It's a little more detailed over my storyboards, and then follow that more closely with some detailed lines. Everyone's favorite broken 1970s computer. Edit-Station 1. Maybe like some action lines up here or something. All right. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to do a drawing. I'm going to actually pull this shot out a little farther so we see his keyboard. There's the preliminary ink for Edit-Station 1. Okay. So now I have something that's a little more final to go on for what may or may not be the actual final inks that you see in the printed books. So I'm going to drop out my background storyboard layer and drop the opacity of that layer. And I'm going to move the camera over and lean in and start doing real work. All right, now this is serious. As serious as drawing a broken computer that shoots lasers can be. Had some people ask if I prefer drawing digital. And, you know, I really don't prefer drawing digital. It's actually kind of awkward. You can't, I don't feel the paper. You know, there's like a little bit of a distance and delay between the pen and the screen. It doesn't really bother me so much. It's just, it's more the feel than anything. That I'm not rotating the paper constantly as I go. I rotate the screen a little bit here and there, but it's not quite the same. However, you can't beat the flexibility of drawing digital. Especially with a big job like this. All right, see there's some little details up here and stuff that could be finished, and I'm zoomed in pretty far here. I draw at a really high DPI, so if you see jaggies and little pixel bits and stuff, those will not be apparent in the final print or digital versions that you're reading. So here's the full page I've been working on. I'm going to drop out the sketch lines, and that's what I have. So already see I want to make a change here to the trackball. It doesn't look very good. And some inking issues up here, but I'll take care of that. And I'm going to do one last drawing over here in the corner, which is Edit-Station 1 and Ethel watching Edit-Station 1 zap this thing coming at her with wings. And I haven't designed the wings yet, so I'm going to do that much later. But this shot over here shouldn't be too complicated, so I'm going to do that just to get it done. I'm going to do something similar to what I did earlier here. I'm going to do a preliminary ink layer with Edit-Station 1 over my storyboards. Alright, there's the preliminary inks for Edit-Station 1. Now we have Ethel back here. I'm going to make her a little taller in the background. So here's the rough inks of Ethel standing next to Edit-Station 1, and I wanted to get their proportions right. This is about how tall she is compared to him. Collarbone. Like a zipper that goes all the way up to her neck. So here I've been laying down some of the final inks on Ethel standing next to Edit-Station 1. Fill in some of the blacks. Whoops. There's just something super amusing about a computer with giant monster truck wheels. Alright, well, there's the little drawing here in the corner. Take the sketch lines out, and you can see it's just a simple shot of Ethel standing next to Edit-Station 1. I'll do her hands and the swords later, and any belt details or changes, and clean up the inking on her outfit a little bit. Do all that later. I'm going to throw in the full shot. You can see he's going to be electrocuting someone running towards them. And that is it for this page at the moment. So I will see you later on Drawing with Lord Karnage in Classic Game Room. Thanks for watching.